Hey guys, welcome to M9 Prime Gaming, and I'm going to talk about Snowrunner. It is a driving game for sure, but I would say it's a physics puzzle game mixed with driving more than anything. This game, you drive around in very off-roady terrain, so mud, snow, bogs, just basically off-road, terrible hard trails, and you're pretty much just delivering things or going to a place to explore it. It's really an open world driving game that you can pretty much go anywhere. And the best thing is, if you do get stuck, you can easily get your car recovered to your garage. So there's no consequence really. There was a couple missions I was playing where I kept getting stuck, like progressing halfway. Like I was trying to pull a truck out of the mud, and I'd get it a couple inches, and then my truck would get stuck, and then I'd recover. And the part that sucked is I had to drive all the way back there to be able to get to that truck again, but I was able to recover it fairly quickly after recovering myself because I was in a better position. Also, you have multiple trucks. You can drive them, you easily jump between them, so there's not an issue with that. So you can have like a small scout vehicle to drive around and find the best route, and then you can have your big truck going behind you. And you can even have two big trucks, and you can link them together with like a rope and have them both pulling at the same time. Like, the game is very versatile, and it is very easy to like get going, and it does give you a lot of the tools you need. It is a puzzle game though. Like, the terrain is difficult, and as you do more and more things, you earn money. So when you earn this money, you can either get new trucks or upgrade your existing truck. And the nice thing is, you can buy a truck and you're like, oh, I really don't like this. When you sell it in the garage, you get all your money back. So there's no consequence for just trying stuff out, which is great. Like, in some racing games, you buy a car, you're like, oh, this is not what I expect. Like, I did not like this car at all. And then you can sell it at a loss, or you might not even be able to sell it, and you have to basically use it for the duration until you can get enough money for the next car. Like, I think Solar Crown, Test Drive Solar Crown has that issue. I've been hearing a lot of people complain that the cars are stupid expensive, and you kind of have to pick the right one. If you don't pick the right one, you're kind of stuck with it because you're not earning that much money. Here, you're not earning that much, but you're earning enough to make it worth your while. And again, like I said, there's trucks you can recover in the wild, and they will point them out to you when you like go to a tower, which is like an Assassin's Creed. If you play that, there's the viewpoints where you synchronize everything. This game has pretty much the same thing. You go on top of a hill to like a radio tower, and you synchronize the area, and it shows you points of interest. You can recover a truck, and then it's yours. Yes, you have to fix it, but at the same time, you could sell that truck right away and get that money and upgrade your existing truck, or get the truck you really want, which is beautiful. The driving physics itself is so good. Like, I have no issues with this game whatsoever in terms of how difficult it is. And it is difficult, especially at the start when you have just a basic, like a 4x4. But it rewards you for getting through it. Like, you use the tools at your disposal. You use your hitch. You use your tow rope. You have the 4x4. You have locking differentials. As you upgrade your car, though, things get easier. So my regular 4x4 was the basic one to begin with. And then I added a lift kit. Then I added better tires. And when you unlock all that stuff, and you progress through the story or through the game by like doing objectives, and you get points for it. And once you have so many points, you go to the next level and you unlock more things. So you can't just have the best of the best right away. They kind of make you work up from the bottom, which is nice, but at the same time you do feel the progression. So you'll go to a spot, you'll probably drive through a certain road a couple times for certain different tasks, and the first time you go through it, it might be a challenge. It might take you 15 minutes to get through this one little patch of dirt that's just muddy, and it's just your car's moving what feels like inches per minute. And then you upgrade your car, and now you're flying through that. Like, that's nothing. Like, your car is raised, you have better tires, you're just plowing right through it. It does feel like you can accomplish more now. And the tasks they have you do, they're not like amazing. Like, you're pretty much just a delivery driver. You're taking cargo from one area to another area. But It's like bring logs here, bring concrete here, and then the bridge gets built, and then more of the map opens up. So you're pretty much working to unlock more of the map. That's your main goal. There are many areas, but I've spent a lot of time in the first area because there's so much to explore, and it's not like you get through it so fast. And there's so many tasks you can do. This game has lots to do. Like, you could probably put in hundreds of hours into this game to get everything done, which I never will, but it's one of those games where you can throw on a podcast, or, I mean, when you're driving your car, same thing that you do in this game. There's not really a dialogue or a story. You're just kind of reading what they want you to do, and you do it. So you can throw on a podcast. You can put on your favorite tunes. You can open your Spotify app on your PlayStation and have it playing in the background and just drive. You can do first person. You can do third person. And again, if you get stuck, you just pull down your menu, recover vehicle, goes right back to the garage. Yes, you lose all that ground you covered, but you've done it. It's like, you know that puzzle. Or you might give up on that task and be like, you know what, I'm not ready for it. I'll come back later. And it is a relaxing game. Like, it has its stressful moments. I'll give it that. Like, you're like, oh, I'm so close and I'm stuck. Or like, oh, my trailer doesn't want to move. But there's been times where that trailer, like my truck was attached to the trailer and I couldn't get it to move. I detached the trailer. I moved my truck. Like, I used the tow rope and the winch to get myself out. Then I attached the winch to the tow rope, to the trailer, I mean, and then pulled the trailer to my truck and attached it again and then kept going. Like, there's so many solutions that you can do. And there's so many different tasks for you to do that you don't really have to be stuck. It is a very fun game. It does have a weather cycle. So, like, it does rain. It's sunny. Like, this was a PS4 game, and there's a PS5 version. And it is not the newest game. I mean, there is the Mud Runner Expeditions. But, I mean, that is, even on sale, that's still 50% off. Like, that's a pretty pricey game. Snowrunner, you can pick that game up for pennies. Like, less than $10. And it is the full game, and there's hours and hours of content. And it is really good content. It's not like it feels old. It's just, instead of, like, in Expeditions, you're going around and, like, you're just exploring an area. Here, you actually have to explore an area, and you have tasks. And it's just the area you're exploring. Here, it's more like North America, whereas the Expedition seems to be like desert. Like, they have different places, but it's more like, I would say, exotic areas. Where here, it's like a logging town in the Midwest. So you got lots of trees. You got like rivers have washed out roads, and you're just going through it. And you know what? It's just so fun to like figure out that puzzle. It's relaxing. It's one of those games where, like, you can get distracted. You can just put down the controller. You don't even have to pause it. I mean, maybe you should pause it if you're kind of going through, like, a really bad area. And, like, once you lose momentum, you'll be stuck. But at the same time, you can just winch yourself out. Hopefully there's something you can winch to. But, again, you can just recover your vehicle if you get stuck. It's not like the game is super punishing, but it does reward you if you can solve the puzzle of the road. And as you're playing, you can also get different things for your trucks. Like, there's different things you could put on the back of your trucks. You can put in hitches for certain trailers. You could put a fuel tank on the back of your truck. You could put a log carrier on the back of your truck. You can put a repair station on the back of your truck, so you can actually go out into the field and repair a truck that's broken down. So let's say you mess up your truck as you're doing a delivery and you're very close and you don't want to recover yourself. You can grab another truck, go out there with the repair station, and then fix your truck and finish your delivery. Or just bring another truck to do that delivery. It all depends on your game style. And the other thing that's awesome about this game is that there is co-op. I haven't been able to actually play co-op because none of my friends have this game. Though I am probably going to ask a couple of them to pick it up next time it's on sale just to give it a shot. But from what I've seen, the co-op, it's just you and your friend driving around in the world. So if you want to go and do a mission together, you do it together. If you want to do separate tasks, you can do separate tasks. But the nice thing is, if one of you gets stuck, the other one can rescue you. So it's kind of like when you have the 2-truck system, where you can control both trucks or even 3 trucks. Except now, instead of you doing everything manually, your buddy comes and hooks up to you and pulls you out. So you work together. It's definitely like a co-op experience. It's not something that is very like competitive, unless you're like having a competition for fun who can get this load delivered first. But that would be between you and your friend. But it's one of those games where it's just so relaxing that you could just drive around in the wilderness and explore. Like, you don't have to do the tasks unless you want to open up more of the map, which is basically just bring some supplies to one area. And once you bring those supplies, that task is done and you can keep going. There are different upgrades to the cars too. Like, there is a couple of things that seem like they're out of touch. Like, you can't get to them. Like, they're on the other side of a shallow river, and your car, you drive it in the river and it dies because you flooded the engine with water, which is terrible. But you can get an upgrade where you can get a snorkel for your car. Now the air intake is above the water line and you can pass through that water where before you couldn't. So it gives you a reward for your progression. And there's also items you can find in the world, like, not items per se, but like engine parts or car parts. And they will automatically unlock things for your cars that you can use, like better tires or locking differentials that you don't have to pay for. So you get rewarded for going and getting that item and finding it in the world. And there's not just deliveries. Like, some of the missions that I did were like, go on top of this mountain and synchronize, and then just have a look. Like, when you get there, you automatically get the completion bonus, and it's a beautiful view, and you just take the sights in. Like, this game rewards you for just exploring, but you should go and look at all the tasks that are being assigned, grab them all, and do them at your leisure. Like, there's no timed ones unless it's, well, sorry, my mistake. There are ones that have time limits, but those are challenges. Those are basically tell you right away, this is a challenge, these are the parameters, and you just do it the way you want to do it. Like, some of the challenges, like, go up to this spot but do it all in first person, so you're not allowed third person view. You can't look at the terrain, so it's kind of fun. But those are things that you don't have to do at all. Like, you could just drive around and unlock the map, do the minimal tasks, and just enjoy yourself and challenge yourself by getting through certain areas. Mud Runners is the main like game franchise. Snowrunners is like an offshoot because now you have snow in certain areas. Though where you start off, there's no snow. It's just as you progress further, snow unlocks for you. And you know what? I haven't got to the snow yet personally. I've just been doing mud, and mud is fun enough. And also, Snowrunners has been a PS Plus extra game. That's where I played it first. And I played it for a bit, and then I was like, you know what? I'm done with it. And I put it down. But then recently I just got like this itch. I'm like, okay, I feel like playing some off-roading game. I'm on a PlayStation, so my choices are kind of limited. I don't have more Forza Motorsport, but I do have like the Crew Motorfest. I know that has off-road stuff, but I wanted something like methodical. So Snowrunners was on sale for like $9 Canadian, so probably like $6 or $7 American, maybe even $5. And I was surprised it was off PlayStation Plus Extra, but I was like, you know what? For $9, I'm going to support the studio. I'll give them my $9, and I played it most of that weekend. And it's one of those games where you can play with the kids around. They're not going to really disturb you. I mean, if you can drive your car with your kids in the back seat, this is not going to be any different. They can drive around. They will ruin your truck, whatever. It doesn't matter. You just recover it to the garage. It gets fixed. Doesn't really cost you anything in terms of game, like, progression. You just lose a little bit of time for recovering, because if you were doing a mission and your kid just takes your controller from you, that's, you leave the controller, leave the game running, and they crash your car, you're just going to lose a little time. You're not really losing any progress, which is nice. You're not losing any currency. It's one of those relaxing games where you can just sit back, play around, and then just put it away. And its save system is very, very, like, good. It saves all the time. Like, it just auto saves all the time, so you don't really have to worry about losing progress. You could be halfway in the middle of your track and like, okay, I'm done for the day. And then just, if you want to be sure, exit to title menu, automatically saves. And then when you reload, you'll be right back where you started. It is such a fun, relaxing game with stressful driving elements, like in terms of like the puzzles to get through some of that tricky terrain. But again, you don't have to go that way. You can go a different way. You can go the long path. You can try to stick to the roads. There's just so many choices. It's one of those games where you can really just relax and not worry about what you're doing. Just take your time and pick a task, and you know, just do it. If you and then, oh, this is too hard, just quit, do a different task. I highly recommend this game if you're into driving games and you want something like an off-roader. If you like realistic physics, because this does feel realistic. Like, it doesn't feel arcadey or cartoony or anything like that. It's like you hit the gas, you're not just going to go right through the mud. You got to work through that puzzle. If you like puzzle games and racing games, this is going to be right up your alley. If you like driving games, you definitely should give this a shot. If you just like puzzle games, this might not be for you, simply because of the fact that it's more like, if you know how to drive a regular car and you're more like car-centric in your mind, you'll see the solution that you should be taking through some of these tougher terrains. Where someone that's doing more puzzles, you might not be thinking like, what is this car capable of? Can I get through this? Like, maybe I shouldn't be in the middle of this bog. Maybe I should go on the outskirts. But again, give it a shot. Totally worth it. Definitely pick it up on sale, and if it looks interesting at all, I'd say go for it. It is a fun game. Even if you have 5-6 hours of fun with it and then you never play it again, that's fine. This is one of those games where you can come back to and you're not losing anything. The only thing you might forget is the controls, and you go into the menu and you can see exactly what the controls are. It's very, very good like that. Also, you don't lose it's like driving a car. You're gonna figure that part out no problem by yourself. So yeah, check out Snowrunners, check out Mudrunners, check out Mudrunners Expeditions. Just any of those games, they're all in the same vein. They're all gonna be the same kind of relaxing. And again, if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. And again, happy gaming.